Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Intuitive Gems. My name is Desiree, and I will be doing your money, wealth, finance, prosperity, abundance reading for the month of August 2021. If this is your first time catching one of my readings, I do want to say welcome, and I invite you to subscribe because I do these readings each and every month, and I would love to share your money message with you. For the readings this month, I'm going to be using my Trippin Waite Tarot deck, one of my favorites. I will clarify with my Radiant Rider-Waite Tarot, and then I will close out your reading, Capricorn, with a Crystal Angels Oracle card. So, I think that is it for the intro. Let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm feeling really ready. So, let's see what shows up for the sign of Capricorn as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of August 2021. Wow, you've got some great cards here, Capricorn. You know the Virgo in me likes to make sure that everything is straight, in alignment, and all that. So, let's take a look at how August is going to start off for you. It looks like things are going to be really, really well. However, what you want to pay attention to is your, excuse me, your communication with other people. I mean, August is going to start off strong because I see the World card here and also the Hermit. But the thing is that it looks like, you know, while things are going to go in the right direction, you're going to have a few bumps, you know, especially anything as it relates to your money life, your financial landscape, so to speak. So we've got the Ten of Cups here, Ten of Cups in the reverse. That's still a very good card. It just means that while things are presumably going well, there's still some things that need to be addressed, you know. Like I said, there's a communication thing here. So whether this be someone in your life, it's someone in your life who has some type of effect on your finances. Could be a partner, a spouse, could also be a child. Maybe you're, you know, supporting adult children. It could also be your boss, or maybe someone who works in payroll at your job. Even in business, there's somebody that you're communicating with about the finances, and there's something going on there. There's something where you guys are not seeing eye to eye, or there's just something that needs to be said that has not been communicated very clearly yet. So once you kind of get that situation ironed out, it looks like things are going to move in a much more slower, smoother. And I also want to say, kind of there's going to be a big progression. There's going to be a big jump, okay? And I say that because of this World card. This is huge. Now, the thing is like things will move slow, but that doesn't mean that things are not moving. And the only reason why I say things are moving slow is because the Knight of Wands and the Hermit card. Now, the Hermit card is a very retrospective card. It's a card about going within. It's about kind of separating yourself from the tribe, from, you know, the mainstream flow of things. But it's a necessary step in order to get clarity, right? And if you're trying to do anything in business, in work, in investing, whatever, you do need to kind of take some time for yourself here and there just to make sure that you're doing exactly what it is that you want to do. And sometimes once you finally get that clarity and you get those answers and you get those insights and inspirations, those are the things that really kind of move you to the next level. So we've got the King of Swords. Now the King of Swords, sometimes he's got a very spitfire energy. And when I say that, I don't mean like in a mean way, but sometimes in a very cutthroat way, because we are talking about swords here, so that energy can be very, very abrasive. And when we're dealing with that in the communication sector, we have to be very, very careful, okay? So it's more of an awareness about how you speak, the words you use, the tonality of the conversation. But like I said, I think this is going to get ironed out pretty quickly. It's not going to be something that's going to hinder you in any way. We have that Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands means you're definitely getting some support and assistance as it relates to your work. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean money specifically, but whatever it is that you're doing to bring in an income, whatever it is that you're doing to make money, to grow your business, you're going to get some type of assistance in that process, right? So maybe you'll get some new tools. Maybe someone will give you some money to buy a new wardrobe, you know, for work. Maybe you'll run into a mentor. Maybe you'll pick up a book that kind of cracks the code for you on something that you've been struggling with as it relates to your career. Whatever it is, there's definitely going to be something to assist you in moving up and moving forward. Finally, we have this World card. The World card means it's the completion of a cycle. It also means that there's literally no limit as to what can happen for you at this particular point in time. The other thing about the World card is that it really means that, you know, things come together in a very beautiful way, and things really happen. I want to say things happen as a result of the time and effort that has been put in. Now, the other thing about the World card is that it also could mean for some of you who work in business or work in international affairs, this is also something that pertains to global expansion. So if you have a business, maybe you're trying to expand internationally. If you're an employee, maybe your company is expanding internationally, and there's an opportunity there for you to perhaps travel, maybe to, you know, be a manager, maybe to, you know, expand your career in some way. Even if you're a student, I've seen this card come up for students who, for students who travel, and they may do an internship or a work study program abroad. Is that right? Work study? I never did one, so I'm not sure, but I think you guys know what I mean. You know, where like kind of like an exchange student, or, you know, traveling, you know, going to school maybe in a different country. I know that is a goal for some of you. So, you know, this is definitely a card of opportunity and potential and growth. Like I said, it's all about that expansive energy. All right, Capricorn, let's see what else is going on for you as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of August 2021. All right, so once we hit that second week of August, excuse me, looks like some things are going to happen as it relates to planning, as it relates to travel. We kind of already mentioned that. The other thing is I'm also picking up that there's a disconnection from self, and that is something that's very important to understand and to be aware of when you are trying to be an entrepreneur, when you're trying to grow. You know, your business growth really is hinged upon your own personal growth, your own self-development. And I'm picking up with this High Priestess card. She's really standing out at me right now because there is some self-development that needs to happen in order for you to up-level, in order for you to expand your awareness and to expand your capacity to have, to attract, and to be more. Excuse me. I talk to a lot of private clients who want to earn more money, but they haven't done the mental inner work to kind of unlearn some things so they can know and believe that high levels of wealth are actually possible for them. Now, I'm not saying you're struggling with that at this, you know, in that particular way, Capricorn, but I am sensing that wherever you are, it's going to be different. It's going to be subjective for everyone. There has to be some inner development happening in order for you to level up, okay? Now, we also have the Tower here in the reverse. I love seeing her in the reverse. Why? Because that means that things are kind of coming together. You know, the worst is already over as far as any type of financial issues, right? I'm not saying you're exactly where you want to be, But you've kind of overcome some challenges, especially as they relate to money. And now we're in the rebuilding phase. Things are starting to come back together. You know, so many of us across the world are finally starting to get back on our feet after being in lockdown for a year or two. Well, I should say a year and a half. And so things are really starting to come together. And opportunities are starting to show up, you know, jobs are starting to show up. And there's a lot of potential there. But like I said, the thing is that you really want to pay attention to your own inner growth, because that's really what will determine how far you go, how much money you attract, how, you know, high up you go in your particular career. Now, we also have the Three of Wands here, the Three of Wands. Whew. This is a card I'm feeling real heavy, because this is a card about feeling what your future is going to be like, and that's really something that's on your heart. I feel like this is a heartfelt card, because so many of you are thinking about your future, and there's things that you want to do, and there's people that you want to be with, and there's things you want to experience, but because of circumstances or maybe certain limitations that you may believe are in place, it's really starting to make you question what your future is going to look like. And like I said, I'm feeling intuitively that this is something heart-centered. This is heart-based. This is not necessarily something financial. This is something that you're feeling on an emotional and spiritual level. So, you know, it could be relationship that's kind of, you know, personal relationships that are, you're starting to reconsider and figure out exactly what direction you want to go with someone in particular. Or it could also be, you know, you're questioning, do I want to stay in this job for the next 5 years? Do I want to stay with this company? You know, do I want to continue this business for the next 5 to 10, 20 years, whatever it may be? So I think you're going to be doing a lot of soul searching, probably the second week of August, Capricorn. Next, we have the Six of Swords. This is some delay in travel. I'm feeling that really strongly. There could be some plans that you made to travel. Now, it could be related to this World card, and it may not be. It's not totally in alignment with that card, so I'm not feeling like they're related. But I am feeling like there were some plans to travel, to go somewhere, to maybe take a road trip, get on a bus, I don't know. But there's going to be either a postponement or something affecting that trip in some way. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be canceled. I don't feel like the trip's not going to happen. But I do feel like there's going to be some changes to a trip that may have already been set, right? So maybe someone's going to join you. Maybe someone's not going to join you. Maybe they change their mind and they can't go. I don't know, maybe the reservations get screwed up, and so now the dates are different. It's going to be something like that. Next, we have the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Be careful about being too overly generous with your money. So, Capricorn, you have to be very, very careful, because you've got a good heart. You're pretty much a giver, and you would do anything to help anybody. But sometimes people will use that against you, and you have to be very, very careful. Just because you have it doesn't necessarily mean you have to give it. And I'm not saying to be stingy, but I am saying to be careful of being overly generous. And you can see I'm getting choked up on this. So let me drink some water, and then I will. Okay, so like I said, Capricorn, you have to be very, very careful about, you know, being too generous, right? You know, not that you're not in a position to help somebody, but it doesn't mean that you always have to go above and beyond, right? I'm a firm believer that you give people a hand up and not necessarily a hand out. Because it's not about just giving somebody something. It's about teaching them how to give to themselves. And I understand that's going to look different for everybody. It's going to come in varying degrees depending on the person and the situation. But just be careful that you're not doing too much and going overboard and overextending your generosity. All right, Capricorn, let's see what else shows up for you as it relates to, ooh, oh, interesting. We got that Six of Cups. Also got the King of Swords again. Seven of Wands. Okay. So, we got the Six of Cups. Six of Cups, that means something from your past is going to show up in a very beneficial, beautiful way. Could be a person, could be a situation, could be a circumstance. Could be something where I'm feeling like this is an old coworker. You know, either an old coworker or, you know, an old you know, college buddy or something like that. I feel like this is somebody that you worked with in some capacity. They're going to show up again, and it's going to be a great reconnection. There may even be an opportunity there for you to make some money. And I'm feeling like there's a sale involved in some way. Either you sell something to this person, or this person sells something to you, and it's something that you've been wanting or something you've been wanting to get rid of. But I'm picking up that there's going to be a reconnection, and then there's going to be an exchange of money there. Not that you know, you're going to loan somebody money, but I feel like there's going to be a beneficial exchange. Like I said, either you sell something, or they buy something from you, or, you know, they refer customers to you, something like that, where there's a financial benefit there. Next, we have the Magician. The Magician is another one of my favorite cards, because the Magician is all about alchemy. It's about really making what you want and using what you have at your disposal to create the end result that you want. This is also a card about resourcefulness. It's also a card about manipulating things to your benefit, right? Now, I don't say manipulation in a bad way in this context. I'm saying that it's the ability to take something and to pull something and to tap into something and then really kind of bring it together in a holistic way that brings you wealth, or brings you joy, or brings you whatever it is that you are wanting or manifesting or wishing for at that time. The other thing about the Magician is he is unstoppable. He is a representation of unstoppable energy, which means no matter what happens, there's no way that whatever he does is not going to come to fruition, right? So it's that persistence, it's that diligence, it's that tenacity to keep going. But the thing with the Magician, though, is that he's not fighting against some type of unseen forces. He is someone who sets the intention, and the things actually get delivered in the way that he wants them to be, you know, in the way that he wants them to show up. It's kind of like the, I don't know, the Instacart of spirituality, where he creates something, he puts it out there, and it shows up exactly as he envisioned, if not better. So that is the type of energy you're going to be working with once we hit the second half of the month of August. It's going to be very exciting. Things are going to happen very quickly, because the Eight of Wands is that card of timeliness. It means that things show up rather fast, you know, probably quicker than you expect them to. And so you have to make sure that you're ready and that you're prepared. We have this repeater card, the King of Swords. Whatever was happening here looks like it gets resolved by the time we hit the middle of the month. The King of Swords is a very nondescript type of guy, no BS, but he will remove things that do not serve him in a very diplomatic, cordial way. He is not someone who makes excuses, and so I feel, Capricorn, that is the energy that you are going to be embodying once, you know, again, once we get to the middle of the month. But I also feel like there's going to be some times of you saying no, and you're going to do it in a way that serves you. And you're not going to take any excuses or any nonsense from anyone. Now, we also have his counterpart here, the Queen of Swords. Now, the Queen of Swords she's a very meticulous cleaner upper of unwanted energy, of unwanted influences. Now, as that relates to your money, there's some things here that need to be let go of. There's some things here that need to be stopped. There's some things here that need to be discontinued. She's the one that comes in and cleans up all of that stuff, right? So I have a feeling you're going to be doing some of that. And I don't feel like it's, I mean, it's going to be an energetic house cleaning, but I also feel like this is going to be a financial house cleaning. You know, let's discontinue some of these subscriptions that we don't use. Let's stop paying monthly for something that we just don't have a use for, you know. Let's stop throwing money away at something that doesn't bring us joy. It's one of those things where it's, she sees the leaks and she plugs them up. You know, there's no more wasteful anything when she's doing her thing. Finally, we have the Seven of Wands. This card is also the card here that we talked about. So again, this means that there was some communication issues. Again, looks like the situation gets resolved because this is in the reverse, which means that whatever was going on here finally gets, what should I say, rectified by the time we hit the middle of the month. So that's definitely a good sign. So looks like your second half of August is really going to be moving in a good direction, Capricorn. So I hope you're ready. Yes, I see that card. All right. What else do we need to know for my Capricorns as it relates to money, wealth, finances, prosperity, and abundance for the month of August 2021? We've got good news coming. Ooh, okay. All right, Capricorn, as we close out August, you definitely have an offer showing up for you. That's very exciting. And you also got some interesting news coming in as it relates to work. But let's start here with the Queen of Wands. Now, she's a very grounded, earthy card. The thing about the Queen of Wands, when she's in the reverse, it means that things are going to be feeling a little unstable for a while. Not necessarily out of balance, but unstable. In other words, you're not going to have some solid answers about something as it relates to your money. You're not going to have clarity on something as it relates to your money or your financial situation. Or you may just not have what you need to have in place in order to feel financially stable. But I want you to understand that this is only going to be temporary. I can see here by looking at the cards, but it's something that everyone goes through, and it's something that you're going to have to just kind of ride it out, okay? Don't think you're doing anything wrong. Don't think that something is working against you. It's just that while things are shifting and while things are settling into place, there's a feeling of, I don't know, floatiness, right? So again, it's one of those things that you just have to kind of ride it out and understand it won't be that way forever, and that things will eventually settle down. Next, we have the Five of Wands. Now, this is an interesting card because this means that there is group communication that's finally starting to kind of come together. Maybe it was strained. Now, it's a little bit different from the Seven of Wands because the Seven of Wands talks about communication one-on-one. The Five of Wands, you can see this is group communication. So there's a cluster of people, and maybe the communication is all over the place. Maybe nobody's listening to anybody. I see this a lot happening with corporate jobs in meetings. I also see this happening recently when there's been like several people trying to kind of come together with making a decision, and everybody has an opinion, everybody has feedback, everybody wants to talk at once. And it's one of those things where it looks like whatever type of group communication issues were going on, it looks like that gets settled and that gets resolved at the end of the month. We also have the Page of Wands. Now, this is where I was talking about there's going to be some interesting news coming through about your work. Now, even if you don't have a job, if you're a business owner, a student, if you're retired, whatever it is that however you're bringing your money in, however money is flowing to you, you're going to get some news as it relates to that. Now, I'm not getting that it's bad news, but I'm not getting that it's it's like good news either. It's like something that's neutral. It's one of those things where they say, like, let's say your payday was always the 1st and the 15th. Well, you get some information now that your paydays are going to be the 5th and the 20th. You know what I mean? It's not bad and it's not good. It's just news. And that's the type of thing I'm picking up with this card, where you're going to get some news as it relates to your income, but it's not bad news and it's not good news. It's just something neutral, you know. Maybe instead of getting paid every 2 weeks, now you're going to get paid every week, but it's going to be less, but throughout the month, it's going to be the same amount. It's something like that, where it's like, oh, okay, it's just something different. Next, we have the Page of Cups here. The Page of Cups is an offer. It's a robust offer is what I'm feeling with this. It's a very robust, generous, exciting offer coming your way. And there is a financial connection to it. So there's definitely going to be the potential for you to increase your value, increase your income, increase your worth. This could be anything, but I am feeling like there is definitely money, like actual money tied to this offer. So that's very exciting. Next, we got the Nine of Pentacles. This is the card of luxury. Again, when I see her in the reverse, this means don't be a little bit too overspendy. Maybe you get a beautiful, robust offer that shows up, and because you did get that big offer, you want to go and buy that brand new car. Well, just use a little bit of discretion and be a little bit more mindful when you're making those luxurious purchases. Right now, luxury purchases are going to be different for all of us. For some of us, it may be a very expensive handbag. For others of us, it may mean brand new tools, a brand new video game. It could be anything. Just be careful that you're not going a little bit too overboard with your luxury purchases. Finally, we've got the Devil card. The Devil card is a card about self-mastery. When I see him in the reverse, it means that you have overcome some type of something that was holding you back, something that was keeping you in bondage. Could be an addiction, could be a toxic relationship, could be self-limiting beliefs. It could be anything that was keeping you from your higher self. Looks like you're starting to master that to some degree. That's definitely going to take you to that next level, like we talked about in the beginning of the reading. It's also a very healing card because it allows you to break free. It allows you to experience what life can be like and what money, you can attract, whatever, when you are not getting in your own way, so to speak. When you're not caught up in an addiction, when you're not caught up in a toxic relationship. So this is a good card to see in the reverse. Like I said, the Devil card in the reverse is a reflection of self-mastery to the next degree, whatever that is for you. So Capricorn, you've got a pretty kick-butt month here. It's very exciting. You've got some really you've got a lot of high points that I think are going to be very, very beneficial and very financially rewarding for you throughout the month. All right, let's go ahead and pull. I'm feeling 2 cards for you for some reason. This is the Crystal Angels Oracle card deck. And you've got Untitled and Apophyllite. I think I'm saying that correctly. Untitled, answered prayers. Yes, all your great work has opened the door for divine solutions and support. I feel like this totally resonates with this reading. You also have Apophyllite, increased support. Again, interesting because both of these cards kind of focus on support. Divine solutions and support, and this is increased support. Your positive focus and willingness to receive have opened the doorway to an abundance of help and opportunities. Yes, that's exactly what we were talking about here with the Magician. So, very powerful, Capricorn, very powerful. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, observations, please drop them down below. Thank you so much, Capricorn, for spending this time with me. We'll do it all again next month.